Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back. Welcome back. Listen, I want to talk to you guys real quick about Wendy Williams. Okay, I want to get into this story. Y'all know I'm pretty passionate about it, girl. When it comes to what's happening with Wendy Williams, I just feel like this overall situation. I definitely want to chat about it. I know it's like last minute. I had plans to do this sooner, but girl, it's been a crazy week. Okay. Mm. So I ain't been able to get to it, but we are indeed about to talk about some things now. And more importantly, what we're about to talk about is her ex, Mr. Kelvin Hunter. Now, I came to y'all with a video the other day. I feel like it was last week. And what we talked about was the fact that Kevin is trying to get this money. So y'all know he and Wendy divorced a while back. And he was expected to receive oh so much of money from their divorce settlement, right? Well, that ended up getting cut off in January of 2022 when she ended up going under this guardianship with this woman, Sabrina Morrissey. Now he's trying to get the money after he's been cut off for so long. And a lot of people have been telling him to, get a job, and all of that, right? Well, he took to social media. He got on his Instagram and he pretty much came out and told people to kind of like leave him alone for the hating women that's lonely and stuff. I always got something to say. He's like, leave me alone or whatever. Then he came back and he said that he has plenty of jobs and stuff that he's working on. He can't wait to show the people what he's working on. He says that he owes it to his kids and his lady, okay, to fight for whatever, and pull in the coins for his family. Basically, he also at the time was in Newark, New Jersey, from my understanding, for this case. And being that Sabrina has control over Wendy's finances, and Wendy as well, she is the guardian, that's pretty much who he has to go and be in court with to see if he can get this money up out of her, right? Well, Sabrina came back and said, bitch, we're not going to give you mother thing is what we finna give you. Okay. Matter of fact, you owe us the money. You owe us $112,500 is what you owe us. How about those teas? In addition to that, Your Honor, knock knock, we would like for him to be gagged. Please go ahead and gag him, because I feel like he's talking about this case and he shouldn't. Well, girl, according to the Sun, and we're gonna get into they salacious and messy. It's okay. We're gonna get into them because according to the Sun magazine or whatever, they are saying that the judge done sat up there and chastised Miss Sabrina, honey. The judge is on her case, honey. I wonder if this is the same judge who she sat up here and tried to file that report with A&E. She filed a lawsuit against A&E to prevent that documentary from coming out, and the judge said, "No, ma'am. I will not be banging this gavel." And one of the reasons why I will not be banging it is because you're going to be violating their First Amendment rights or whatever. So, girl, we're going to have to let this fly, whether you like it or you don't like it. Okay. So I'm wondering if this is the same judge that gave her a tap on her motherfucking shoulder and told her she might have been a piece of out of line. Hello. So we are about to get into that. All right. What's going on, Tranquil Living? What's up, Kiana? What's going on, Ebony? Hey, Carol. Everyone is worried about Wendy's money, but her health is horrible. I'm so disgusted with Kevin. Thanks for joining. I'm not as disgusted with Kevin as I was. And I y'all know how I mean, a lot of y'all may not know, so let me say this. I don't feel 100% bad for Wendy when it comes to the situation with Sharina and him having a child on Wendy, because I feel like Wendy absolutely knew about it. I feel like she knew and told him as long as he don't embarrass her. The fact that the story came out, the girl was pregnant, wanted to be with Kelvin, whatever the case was, Wendy was like, "Oh, that's a wrap, baby. We're out, honey. Since you want to do it like that and you done brought it to down to the see, I discuss people business. I don't really get into my own business, okay? So since you want to make me the topic of conversation, then guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and file this divorce, because you're not gonna sit up here and be working with me or whatever the case is, or making money up off me and still being married to me, and this bitch get to continue to benefit and she'd have had your baby. Absolutely not. Now I was cool with how it was, but I'm not with how it is. So that's what I honestly think was happening right now. Also, Wendy, whatever amount of money Kelvin is getting from the divorce settlement, Wendy clearly agreed to. So I at first was like, don't get that nothing. But at the same time, if that is something she agreed to and signed off on in the court paperwork, it's like, get that man his money. It is what it is, right? So I don't fault him for fighting for it. Another reason why I really don't fault him for bringing it this far, y'all, is because my prayer is that we find out more of what the hell is going on with Wendy. See, Kelvin, of course, for his own selfish personal benefit. I understand. I get what you. So I see where you at with it, Ebony. I see you. We see each other now. I'm with you. I know he's doing this for his own selfish benefit, but I'm not really mad at him too much, because if you're going to apply the pressure to try and find out what the hell going on, then who the hell am I? Let's find out what's going on. And how Kelvin is feeling about the Guardian, I feel the same way about the Guardian, especially now that this documentary had dropped. Okay. And then you start piecing together the different puzzles and how they were trying to make her son look bad and this and that in the media, and snatching away his power of attorney, and he ain't got control over his mama. So if anything happened to his mama, he SOL. And just for me, digging into doing more research on these guardianships, I don't trust that. So that's why I'm kind of like, I ain't too hard on Kelvin in this moment. Thank you so much, Carol, for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you. Kevin was absolutely fine with the Guardian until she cut his money off. Well, see, he wasn't fine with the Guardian. See, that's another misunderstanding, because he couldn't have been fine with the Guardian because the Guardian did not come into play until January. The moment the Guardian came into play is the moment his money got cut off. So it was never a time for him to be okay with her until the money got cut. The money got cut when she came in. So he was never okay with her because the money was gone. So if she stepped in on January 15th, his check stopped on January 15th. So that's how that went. She wasn't already in place in 2021 or anything like that. She was never around. She came in January 2020. That check got cut January 2022. Okay. That's what I mean. Not 2020. 2022 is when everything went down. So yeah, Kelvin also agreed once her income decreased, as the money could be stopped or decreased. And that's why I think he wants additional details. He's trying to get discovery. What I'm thinking is he did agree to that. You are absolutely right. To where if her income decreased to a lesser amount than I believe the year prior, then his check would stop. So my thing is, they're saying he got paid 2 extra months, but where he needs the evidence as well, because it looked like he represents himself, he needs the evidence as well to prove that I do owe you this 112 some $1,000, and to prove that she made less this year. So I believe that year would have been 2021 in comparison to 2020. But he don't have those documents. And that's why I believe the judge is on Miss Ma'am's ass. And we are going to get into that. Okay. So if it does show that she did make less in 2021 than she did in 2020, and he got paid overage, then here's what I'm thinking in my head. He might owe that, should the judge grant him to do that. Or my other question was, could that constitute as some type of back pay for him? Because I don't know when his payments actually started. So does he truly owe for those 2 months that he was paid? Or did the judge possibly, at the time that they granted this settlement, if they filed for a divorce, let's say in January of 2020, but the divorce was not finalized until June of 2020, is he going to get money all the way back to from when the divorce was filed? And if so, therefore he won't owe them a damn thing. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like there's ways for him to possibly wiggle out of that, but I don't know. Okay. But good point. The Guardian should be nervous, because the more he digs, the more is going to come out about Wendy's money disappearing. Correct. Which is what we finna get into. So I'm looking forward to talking about this. So let me move some stuff over if I can, so that we can get into it and talk about this stuff. And which one do I actually want to start with, really? Because there are 2 different articles and I want to make sure I go in order. So I think it's this one first. Let's see. Yeah, he said he doesn't trust her. He feels like she's depleting. And then okay, yeah. So this is the one I believe we'll start with. Okay. All right. So let's get into this one here. All right. So this is over here on the US Sun. He says he does not trust her. Okay. So they obtained some exclusive photos of of Wendy's ex-husband and Sabrina. And this was on a hearing that they had last Friday regarding these financial matters. So y'all see Kevin, okay, coming up out the courtroom. This is the guardian that's over there acting like she on the phone coming up out the corner store. Okay. All right. I wonder what she over there on that phone saying. Yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and dock up some documents. We're gonna have to do something to go ahead and get this paperwork over to this man. But let's get into more details. Now, inside the small and otherwise empty courtroom, the former daytime TV host, Guardian Sabrina, sat at one table while Kevin and his associate, a forensic auditor, Eric Pettis, sat at the other table across from the judge. Real interesting because Kelvin seems like he might be representing himself. But what we also see is this man brought in a forensic auditor. So Kevin is definitely ready to get into some things for sure. Okay. Now they go on to say that Wendy's ex is back in court after his divorce payments from the star ceased in 2022 when Wells Fargo froze her accounts. All right. They're saying that the financial records from the time since they divorced, he's been trying to get the financial records from the time that they divorced through to her being placed in the guardianship, as they would be needed for his discovery to bolster his argument that payment should resume. Okay. So he needs these details to decide on, he needs these details to go through it to find out whether or not, hey, or be able to provide the judge with evidence based on the discovery that he needs. Like, hey, here are the reasons here why I think the payment should resume, because according to this, according to that, according to this, and these financial records, this is why. And he probably gonna need that same discovery to explain why he thinks he should not have to pay that $112,000 that Sabrina is trying to get him to do. Not only is she trying to get this man to pay the $112,000, she's also trying to gag order him to prevent him from talking about this case further. Okay, saying that he's been talking to different, I guess, blogs or whatever. So they say at the start of the hour-long hearing, the judge acknowledged the difficulties in the case. Okay, Judge Michael Katz, and I feel like, I think he might be the same judge from the last lawsuit that she filed against A&E, but don't quote me. I know it was a male judge. That name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. So he says, I know this is a difficult case for a lot of different reasons. It's difficult for both of the parties, but also because of the physical, mental health, and financial issues involved. It's difficult for both parties, and both parties need to have this resolved. I think this case needs to go to arbitration. All right. So Kevin told the judge that he feels the matter is an emergency. According to him, I bet it is the emergency, because this is where people not on your side just a little bit, because the emergency is more so, in my opinion, for your pockets, not so much as Wendy's health. Okay. Now he went on to cite Sabrina being named as a defendant in a case that accuses her of being involved in a racketeering scheme involving another ward who is not under her guardianship. I think I heard about that. Let me go back. I think I heard about that. Did I hear about that? I think I did. Yeah, this was earlier this year. Wendy Williams, guardian, accused of robbing client in $30 million lawsuit. I do remember that. It was an insurance claim, I believe. This man was working. It was an insurance claim, and they was trying to get him, I think, beat him out his money or something. Okay, gotcha. So this is what Kevin is bringing to the court, okay? And now Sabrina is an attorney, so of course she can represent herself, but he ain't he ain't got nobody. I guess this is the man here that's the auditor that he got with him. Interesting. Let's keep going. Sabrina look like she over there hiding out. They done got too many photos of you over here at this corner store, man. Whew. Wendy's guardian did not speak often during Friday's hour-long hearing. Okay. So Kevin says, I'm not just concerned about the money, but she's come in and swooped in and depleted the accounts in that time. This has become a real travesty. At the conclusion of the hearing, Kevin walked out of the courtroom with a big smile on his face, while Sabrina looked fairly stressed. As the U.S. Sun previously reported, Wendy's guardian has asked the judge to put a gag order on her ex, on Wendy's ex, I guess is what they meant. A request Judge Katz was not entertaining. So he wasn't interested in putting a gag order on this. That's why I'm trying to see if this is, I need to see if this is the same judge, because she also wanted the details of the A&E lawsuit to be closed, but A&E was like, no, leave that shit open. Yikes. Okay. So the gag order request, it says, I request that the court increase the protection of this case and issue a gag order, thereby instructing Mr. Hunter not to speak to the press or others except for legal advisors about these matters, and to instruct anyone with whom he has previously discussed these matters with that they should not communicate about these matters anymore. And he shouldn't talk about it with anybody else. Okay. This is what she's demanding. Now, the U.S. Sun also reported Kevin is asking the court to intervene after he claims his marital settlement agreement payments suddenly ceased just before she was placed under guardianship in 2022. But I don't think they couldn't have been stopped just before she was placed under guardianship. Well, no. Let me go back. Let me say this. So he got paid for that October, November. In January, Wells Fargo froze the account. So the guardianship really got tricked off by Wells Fargo. So once they froze and locked up the account, that was the first thing. Wendy went into guardianship probably maybe a few weeks later, or maybe probably a few days later. But it all happened in that same month. Okay, so that's what all happened. So shortly after that, or shortly before, it still would have been the same month. All right. So now he's asking for the payments to be to pick back up. In the documents filed by Kevin in March, Wendy's ex argued that he was promised access to his ex's financial records by the Guardian. The Guardian said that she was going to give this man his paperwork and has yet to give him anything, but you want to fire back and say, oh, you owe us this or that, and we're going to gag you. All right. So Kevin wrote in his filing on December 8th, 2022, I attended mediation. I attended mediation with Wendy's counsel and Wendy's New York court appointed guardian, attorney Sabrina Morisi. In that mediation, Wendy's counsel and guardian agreed to provide statements to accounts and bank records they claim to have gotten permission from the New York court to provide. So if he requested that in 2022, we are now in 2024 and he has yet to get anything. So they say a source close to the mediation negotiations in 2022 previously revealed that during one meeting between the parties in December, the mediator told her ex and his team the reality is that there is no more money. Oh, where did it go? What you mean? So, because where did it go? Because I refuse to believe Wendy is tapped out that quickly. Whatever she had in her account from January to December, I refuse to believe that it was tapped the fuck out that quickly. And the reason why I say that is because Wendy was already paying all that money for her son on a monthly basis. She was leasing that condo or whatever, and she was getting ready to buy that condo because she said after she leased it, she was going to buy it. I think he stayed there for 1 year and it was time for her to buy it. So, and I believe that's what triggered everything to go into the Wells Fargo lock or something, because I think that she was ready to get so much of money so that she could get ready to buy that house. And I'm just wondering what the fuck happened to that lady money between January and December for the mediator to come to the front and be like, the reality is there's no more money. Were you being funny? Or were you being for real? So the out of court sessions were supposed to resolve Kevin's claims that he is owed money are earmarked for him in his and Wendy's marital settlement agreement. The insider close to the negotiation said that despite the mediator's statement about Wendy's financial affairs, there's no proof offered to them to support the allegation that the former TV star is broke. Interesting. Let me go back. Insider close to the negotiation said that despite the mediator's statement about financial affairs, okay, so an insider close to the negotiations, which probably was the auditor or somebody from the team, they're saying, y'all are saying that she's broke, but we ain't got no proof to say that she is broke. So where is it at? So y'all think we're supposed to just go off of y'all word of mouth? So which one is it? She got money or she don't got money? But also I feel like before they got a divorce, I think Kevin did know just how much Wendy did have in that account. I think he had a lot of access. I think he knew how much she had in that account. I think he knew how much she would stand to possibly make from the show. Granted, I do understand that some of her money was cut off due to her well, I think it could have been cut off because she didn't finish out the show. So whatever she was projected to make, some of that could have been cut, but it doesn't mean she didn't have money from other deals and other opportunities coming in, which was why I was like, are y'all sure she made less in 2021 than 2020? Are y'all sure about that? But yeah, so we gonna see. Somebody like I high key don't care if Kevin gets his money or not. I'm just glad that he's kind of like applying a little bit of pressure just so that we can find out what's going on with Wendy and this guardianship. Because I'm more so into the guardianship being exposed. And the family ain't doing a whole lot of nothing, in my opinion. So for him to even take it this far, at least I'm like, okay, we can find out something of what's really happening with this situation. So I think he know. That's why he also applying pressure, because he already kind of knew how much money she really already had. And he probably like, y'all need to pay me my money either way it go. I know what I signed. I know I said if she makes less, but we don't know if there's another clause or something in that documentation to where it may knock that out. And it might be something else that's stated to where he still could get his money. I don't know. So they're saying Kevin repeatedly asked for Wendy's financial records during the mediation. Kevin has said, despite supposed assurances from the ex's guardian, from this guardian and her attorney, all right, they said that they would provide him with Wendy's bank records, and they never gave him anything. Now, during Wendy's docuseries, they're saying that Wendy was heard said, okay, so it says, which aired on Lifetime last month. The star said, while discussing her guardianship, I have no money. But that doesn't mean she doesn't have money. It really means she ain't got access to her money, because once these guardians take over, it is kind of like you're broke, because for every little thing, you have to reach out to them for it. And if it's hard for the family to get in touch with you, I really feel like it's even more difficult for Wendy to get in touch with you. I'll never forget a sit down that her best friend did. And Wendy asked for food for breakfast. She asked for breakfast. It never came. Or at least it didn't come to that afternoon or something. So Wendy reached out to her friend. I don't know how I think this was before she moved out of that home she was living in. So she reached out to her best friend, and her best friend would literally Uber eat her food over there. But then I'm also questioning why she got to hit up anybody when she has those assistants that was around her and that quote unquote manager that was around her. But when we watched the docu, a lot of what we heard was, oh, it's some alcohol in here, but it ain't no food in there. What the hell y'all be on? All right. Wendy goes on to say in this docuseries, or this documentary, she says, and let me tell you something, if it happens to me, it can happen to you. And she wasn't ever lying. All right. Wendy lost her lucrative show after the 13th season. Okay. Wendy has truly made a drastic change. She just don't look the same. Let me see if there was anything more before we hop over to the next one. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, let's hop over to the next one. Which one is it? I think it's this one here. Nope, it's this one. Okay, so this is where we get into the judge chastising her. Okay, and this one dropped on yesterday. So they're saying in Wendy Williams, in the dark, Wendy Williams divorce judge chastises her guardian for not handing over these financial records to Kevin. All right. So they're saying that during a hearing on Friday, The judge told Wendy's guardian, Ms. Sabrina Morrissey, that there would be no resolution regarding Kevin's divorce payments without her first handing over the star's financial records to the ex. So if she thought that she was going to be able to get out of this and not give these documents, the judge is letting her know right now, we cannot move forward, and you slick are wasting the court's time, and you know how we feel about that, girl. We can't do anything until you fork over those financial records to that man. Now, it don't mean this is going to be in favor of Kevin or anything, but why are y'all holding on to her financial records and it's been damn near 2 years? What's going on with that? Well, really, it's been like a year and a few months. So, because the last time he asked for them was December 2022, and he never got them. Okay. Woo. So they go on to say, I know this is a difficult case for a lot of different reasons. He says it's difficult for both parties, but also because of the physical, mental health and financial issues. It's difficult for both parties, whatever. Okay. They're saying that she obtained, we know all about this. Okay. He says, Miss Morrissey has given me no reason for stopping the payments. If Miss Morrissey had tried to modify the records, that would be different. This is what Kevin was saying when he was in the court hearing. He says, I'm not just concerned about the money. She comes in and swooped in and depleted the account in that time. He says that it's become a real travesty. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, yeah. All right. So I feel like these are some of the details that we've already gotten into. So I'm looking to see if there's anything new. The judge scolded Wendy's guardian about not complying with Kevin's request and saying clearly this can't settle because the parties are in the dark. Okay. Sabrina defended herself, replying, I've done what I can do under the New York court, but it's very difficult to put out stuff that's supposed to be private. This is how she's trying to leverage. This is how she is trying to leverage getting the case probably sealed in some type of matter. This is what she's trying to do. But I don't think that's right. This is a public figure. So I feel like matters, let it be damn public. Because you have private damn citizens, you have regular folk that be out here every day, and all they should be plastered all over everywhere. Okay. And when I get a chance, we gonna tap into some watch alongs later over there and dive into other people's court cases and see what the hell they got going on the public record. Ma'am. See, you trying to use this situation for you to try and finesse your way to lock it down. Because if some tea gets out, it won't damage your piece of reputation. See, that's why you trying to get that piece of gag order, because you already knew that the judge was going to come to the front and he was going to tell you, you need to get this man these documents because it's been over a year. You already knew that shit. So what you're trying to do is gag order Kevin so he can't talk about his findings. In addition to that, you're also going to probably try to get this case sealed the same way you tried with A&E so that we can't talk about your findings. Okay. Or his findings, shall I say. We see you, ma'am. We see you, girl. So people won't, the judge says people won't settle if they don't have all the info. So I don't know why they don't have information. Oh, come on, Mr. Katz. Come on, Mr. Katz. Mr. Katz said the people will not settle. Okay, you over here worried about the people and you somebody information supposed to be private and everything. Girl, they're going to keep talking about it. They're going to keep talking about it because they ain't got all the information. So get it together. Okay. So provide them with the information and we going from there. So it's really given. I'm not going to make shit private and I'm not going to gag no motherfucking body. You're going to do your motherfucking job. Okay, that's what it's given, just a little bit, Mr. Cass, and we like you, sir. So Kevin then expressed his frustration over the situation and claimed that his ex had more than enough money in the bank to resume the divorce pay. Didn't I just tell y'all that? And I ain't even read these articles yet. I'm duh. It only makes sense. He was so ingrained in her business, you know, as a producer, as her manager, and whatever else he was. That man knew how much money that lady already had in that account. So even if she would, and he probably also knew what other deals and stuff she had coming in outside of just the television show, right? So that's probably why he agreed, because he knew how her money was coming in. That's probably why he agreed on some, oh, well, you know, she makes less than this, then she don't have to keep up the payments. But I ain't got to worry about it because I already know how much she got on her account. I already know how she moving with this, that. That's not even gonna be an issue, but whatever. Right? That's interesting. That man already knew what the hell was going on. So now, being a person that already know what this lady already had in her account, and everybody over here want to be mad at Kevin, and I get it, and I understand y'all mad because he cheated on his wife and he had a baby. That man did not, in my opinion, what I truly believe, and I said this at the top of the live, but for the people joining now and didn't hear it earlier, and if you did, let me repeat myself again. Okay. Wendy knew about this side woman, and nobody's gonna tell me that different. She was okay with it until she came public and he got her pregnant. Okay. So I know a lot of people want to feel like he a bad man and this and that and get a job and this and that. At one point, Wendy was his job and she was okay with it and she allowed it. Whether we like it or not, he assisted in helping her get to where she at. And I know it sucks, but that is the reality of the situation. So I can't be, as much as I'm like, and every time I want to be like, I have to, the reality of the situation is this. Okay. So I can't be too mad. And if he has to go this route also, and it's not even just, in my opinion, for him to figure out his stuff and whatever's owed to him, but it's also his son. So if his son can't fight for himself, then he got to try and do something. I do believe that there is selfish motive there. Trust him. I do believe that it's selfish motive there. But hell, if whatever he does can help out a little bit, so that the son can at least be taken care of, like something need to give. Some, because that lady account was all fine and well until Wells Fargo decided to put a froze on it because y'all felt like she was under undue influence or whatever that was, without really giving much of an explanation for real, for shutting her stuff down and then placing her under a guardianship. That's crazy. Listen, girl, it's gonna take a case though. It's gonna take one case, and that thing gonna be cracked wide the hell open, like it was over there in Las Vegas when that guardian was sued for what, $9 million for abusing her position and the guardianship, taking advantage of people. It's gonna take one case. All right. What else are they saying? It's been 3 years since the divorce payment stopped. The father of two noted before mentioning Wendy's latest huge paying gig, her Lifetime docuseries "Where Is Wendy Williams," released earlier this year. Whatever she signed made $500,000 plus. Meanwhile, Miss Morrissey is telling me there is no money, but everyone's wearing all the finest in the production. Now, hold on, wait a minute. Not he over there working. Not you clocking people attire, Kevin. Not you talking about these people, everybody wearing the finest of things, and she made at least $500,000 off of that. But see, here's the thing too. So Morrissey took A&E to court because she felt like Wendy did not sign those documents. She said that somebody may have forged her signature. I don't even know if the money from this docu actually went to the accounts that Wells Fargo, that I don't think it went there. I think it went to a separate LLC that they probably created for Wendy, a separate account where the money can go. And I don't know if that's being used on Wendy because they ain't got no access to her. They only can talk to her on the phone, it seems like. Or if that money is being used to help her son out, because all Wendy has ever wanted to really be able to do was take care of her child. And y'all took that away from her to be able to take care of her child. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's happening with the 500,000 plus. I will feel a way if Kelvin got a piece of that and he took care of the person he with now and that child, because I feel like a lot of that should go towards the son. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, he was the one that had to really live through a lot. His mama being busy, having to work, had to be on the go and stuff like that. So I think that he really should pocket a lot of that coin. But that's just me. So they go on to say, Kevin says she's clearly very in tune with production as she's been signing off on it. I don't know who he means by she. I don't know if he means Morrissey, or if he was talking about Wendy. Okay. It seems like he's trying to say, based on how this is written, it seems like he's talking about Morrissey. Sabrina is the one that's clearly in tune with production as she's been signing off on it. So I feel like she did sign off on it with a misunderstanding of what the docu was about. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder, because I don't think the money went to that account. I feel like it probably went to a separate account. But it could have. Sabrina could have signed off on it. It could have went to the accounts that Wendy does have. And she could have she could have potentially abused it. I don't know, but Kevin is calling all of that into question, and he's calling it to the front. All right. So then the judge directed his attention to Sabrina and said, I don't know anything about that, but it seems to be that you have the consent of Wendy to get this resolved. And if Mr. Hunter was only offered 2 months of statements, it behooves him to know what's out there and to give what's been asked. Ooh, an arbitrator will decide if there was a breach of Kevin and Wendy's marital settlement agreement. And then if there was, we need discovery to see any damages. Okay. Period. So Kevin says, I'm not just concerned about the money, but she's come in and swooped in. This is like a quote from earlier, and depleted the account in that time. This has become a real travesty. Period. I ain't mad at this. Dig a little deeper, honey. So they're saying that they got those photos earlier this month. Wendy's guardian asked the judge to put a gag order on Kevin's request, though Katz didn't entertain the idea at the hearing. I request that the court increase the protection of this case and issue a gag order on him, saying he can't talk to nobody. But the judge has not made a decision on that yet. He's just not entertaining it. The judge already said, listen, the people gonna continue to do what they do until information is given. So if you don't give them the information, they're gonna keep asking for it. It's gonna continue to create conversation around it. So if you want this to move along and be gone, do what you got to do. See, this is a fair judge to me. This is a fair judge to me. Period. So that's like the latest update, and I just wanted to come and chat about that real quickly because I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I know we mad at Kevin, but I ain't too damn mad. Okay, with no asking or discussing first, just Wendy accounts. Oh, I think you meant to say just shut Wendy. Yeah, just shut Wendy accounts down. Yep, they did. I just got to the live, but if Kevin doesn't trust the Guardian, then that says a lot. Wow. Okay. All right. Kevin needs to leave Wendy's pocketbook alone. He didn't want his wife or married life stop reaching for her coins. I disagree, Lisa. I disagree. I know for the people that's been on the live for the longest, I sound like a broken record, but sometimes people hop in and they may not have heard it. So I have to explain why I disagree. I disagree because it was something that was agreed upon between Wendy and him. Obviously, Wendy was okay with it when she agreed to it. In addition, he didn't want his wife or his married life. I feel like Wendy allowed him to step out and she was okay with it as long as he did not embarrass her. I feel like Wendy been had her health complications for a long time. I think they've worsened over time, but she probably worked too much and then she didn't feel like doing all that. That lady probably was like, oh, you can do what you do. Go over there. You know what I'm saying? Just don't embarrass me. You know how this go. So I think she was Sharina had been around, from my understanding, I'll say allegedly 10 years. Ain't no way Wendy didn't know about that shit. Ain't no way. And I think that she was okay with it. But all in all, whatever it is, Wendy agreed to the settlement. That's written in the courts. So he has every right to challenge that. And if it's going to expose where this lady's money at, when he already know how much money Wendy had. So even if she didn't make as much in 2020 or whatever, she still had enough to continue to pay him. That lady had money in the bank. And I would think she had money in the bank too if she paying this condo. I think it was maybe $10,000 a month or however much. Maybe it could have been $5,000. I can't remember how much she was paying a month for her son and getting ready to buy it the next year. That lady had bank for sure. For sure. So I'm not too mad at him. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I ain't too mad. I just don't understand that if everything is on the up and up, then why gag anything? Exactly. I feel like when people do that, it's stuff about themselves they don't want to come out. I feel like they do that because it could be damaging to the reputation. I don't think it has anything to do with Wendy. So if she were to use that excuse, like I want to gag this because I don't want Wendy to look bad or whatever the case is. No, I think that was the angle she tried to use with A&E. You know, I just don't trust. I don't trust it. So as much as I be wanting to be mad, I'm like, I ain't even mad at that man. because he's probably like, we can't get answers this way, then let's try to get answers that way. Let's try to go around it this way. I want to get my money too, because I want to be able to take care of what I got to take care of. It's already owed to me. She signed off on it. Judge approved it. It's already written in stone. I'm supposed to get it. It is what it is. But also, if I can find out what the hell she got going on, I'm gonna expose her. Why not? Because it still was done unfairly. And then you came in, regardless of what issues I got with my son or my son got with me, you came in, threatened my motherfucking child, and gonna tell my son that he better send his mama back, or we gonna sit up there and put kidnapping charges on you. Oh, I'm on your motherfucking head. I do not care. So y'all, and I'm sorry, I'm with him on that. Y'all can say whatever the y'all want to say about me, baby. Okay, so if this the angle I'm finna take, I'm finna take it. Cause y'all, how dare y'all swoop in and then remove this baby as power of attorney? He down there taking care of his mom, got her in better health, has the footage to prove it, and then y'all calling down there trying to threaten him, saying she needs to come back, and if she doesn't, because she didn't want to go back, y'all say that y'all finna put kidnapping charges on this boy. And him being, how old was he? Maybe 19, 8. I can't remember how old. I think he was still in his teens, or maybe I'm gonna say 18 to 21, because I'm not sure how old he is now, but he was young at that time. He's scared as hell. He don't know about this. Like, okay, I guess I gotta send her up there. It'll be okay. I'll probably still get to see her. Can't keep her here, but that's fine. Ain't no fucking way. You finna say that. I don't care what issue I got with my kid. I don't care nothing about y'all hearing him cussing me out, trying to fight me. None of that shit. That's, look what that lady said. That's my motherfucking man. That's my motherfucking child. Okay? Don't play with me. So I'm with Kevin on that. I cannot believe that I'm saying it. But I'm gonna rock out with him on that. Let's see how far you can go, sir. I don't know. That's a good one. Why isn't there an attorney involved? IDK, because it does seem like Kelvin is working on his own. And I can't say that he's doing a bad job right now, because the judge is damn sure in his favor. I thought her sister was an attorney too. Actually, I didn't know until after that documentary dropped. Then I learned that she was an attorney, and I'm like, you an attorney? What kind of attorney are you? And you let these folks finesse you. But I think also sometimes we hear the word attorney and we just think everybody are like aggressive and this, that, and everybody ain't like that. It's so many different type of attorneys, and I wonder the type that she is. That may not even be her arena or know how to go about working in that field. She might, I don't know the type of attorney that she is. She might be a telecommunications attorney, to be honest. You know, that may not even be her expertise. So, but I don't know. But that's a good question though. Because you would think, even with that, knowing that they're an attorney, you would think, even with that, even if that's not your field, the minimum you would do is research. At least knowing how to research, look up certain laws, different things that's happening in that state. You will be able to do, just at bare minimum, be able to know how to do adequate research. And with you being attorney, you should, if you are barred, I would think you would have access to a wide range of resources, you know, to do what you need to do. But you know, I don't know, girl. I don't know, but I just wanted to come and run my mouth just a little piece with y'all and tell y'all what's going on about this situation. Okay. So that is all I have at this time. I do thank you guys for coming in and, you know, entertaining. Okay. This subject matter with me, liking up the video, sharing the video. I do appreciate all of that. I think there is fraud on Denmark Mercury with the insurance money to bring her back to New York. I think I saw someone mention that. I think I gotta check out shout out to Chronicle Speaks. I don't know if she could have mentioned something like that in her video or something, or maybe I read about it, but I think I read something about Denmark Mercury and the insurance. I gotta look more into that. Because you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a hand, but that's just my opinion, honey. That is not a fact. Don't take it as fact. But I wouldn't be surprised. It's just really weird, especially because Kevin made a post a while ago. And on that post, he talked about how when Wendy was down in Florida, Deb Mar and those people on that team were reaching out to her sister to try to gain updates on how Wendy's health is doing. And she's thinking that they're being a good friend to her when they're not. And so what he was saying was, next thing you know, they getting you to feed them all this information, and once you've given them enough, they stop responding to you, talking to you, and then they turned around, flipped it, and said you need to told your your nephew, you need to send your mama back, or we're gonna put these charges on you, or whatever the case is. And when Kevin made that post, a lot of people, and I hate when they do it anyway, the blogs ran with the story of saying that Kevin was accusing her sister of stealing money. That's not what he was doing. He was calling out the production company. That's what he was doing. He only called out the sister for getting played. Y'all trying to exclude me out of stuff, and it only got you played in the end. I'm the one that has worked with these people for X amount of years with Wendy. I know these motherfuckers. I know how they move. Whether we like Kevin or not, I feel like a lot of shit wasn't happening when he was around. He might be ain't SHI. Ain't SHI. He might be, but all of them ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? It be some smart ones out there, and he might be a little piece on that end. So I hate to say it, but I'm just giving y'all my honest thoughts. You know, I feel like a lot of stuff wasn't happening when he was around. And as soon as she divorced him, she became even more vulnerable, and all kind of shit started happening. You know, I'm sure the stress got to her even more with the, you know, being alone, and her health declined faster. You know, I also think that Kevin got to a place where he had no choice but to announce or acknowledge, I guess, the pregnancy, because some of the blogs or individuals were digging so deep into Wendy and her relationship that it put it in Front Street to where they had no choice but to acknowledge that there was a baby out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like some of y'all might have contributed to that, girl, whoever y'all is. But I'm gonna mind my business just as much as Kevin did. You know, y'all did too. Because once y'all put that out on Front Street, honey, Miss Wendy felt like she, instead of her standing in her SHI, which I feel like she should have, if that's what you want to do, that's my motherfucking man. She would have got drugged either way it go, okay? But baby, you should have just held on to that damn divorce possibly. I don't know. I don't know if her health would have stayed better or what. I do feel like we wouldn't be in this situation that we in now. Or at least she wouldn't be in the situation that she's in now. But you know, that's what happens. You know, he did that. And she was out. So here we are. But all in all, yeah. So I just brought you guys that little piece. I thank you guys so much for being here. Definitely like up the video, support the channel, subscribe if you have yet to do so. Definitely follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing